tell you a story about how America was almost destroyed by criminals. It's one that should shock anyone who reads it, but like any good thriller, it has a happy ending. The story is fully researched and has no affiliation with any political party, religion, or ideology, nor does it need it. May 4th, 2016. TV billionaire Donald J. Trump, against all the odds, wins the unofficial nomination as Republican candidate for the presidential election. Even happier at the news than Trump himself was none other than the Democratic National Committee and their candidate, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Their so-called Pied Piper strategy had worked. Clinton announced her candidacy on April 12, 2015, and became the presumptive Democratic nominee on June 7, 2016. From the moment she announced, Clinton and her team set themselves two objectives. 1. Destroy Bernie Sanders. 2. Weaken strong Republican rivals and strengthen weak ones. The DNC, Clinton, and their media proxies worked together to achieve both. And it worked. The Sanders campaign was destroyed, and the Republicans nominated Trump. On May 4th, 2016, Hillary Clinton would have been very pleased, and the Clinton versus Trump campaign had begun. At this point, Hillary Clinton would have been entirely certain that she was going to be POTUS 45, and that she could not lose. Donald Trump was ridiculed and dismissed as a foolish clown with no hope, but just 2 weeks later, May 22nd, 2016, something changed. It was the first time in the campaign that Donald Trump won a national poll against Hillary Clinton, 43.4 to 43.2. A tiny margin, but it sparked concern in the Clinton campaign and DNC. It sparked concern because it showed that their Pied Piper strategy may be falling apart. The outsider they had deliberately promoted, Donald J. Trump, the joke candidate, was taking the lead. Though even with this change in the air, Clinton and her team would never have doubted that victory over Trump was theirs. When it came to dealing with opponents, the MO of Clinton and her allies was already clear. Cheat, lie, and collude. Do whatever you have to do to destroy rivals. After all, they thought they were untouchable. Now there became a new objective: destroy Trump at all costs. A plan was coming together to paint Trump and his family as traitors. That plan was to be collusion with a foreign adversary to steal the election, and a narrative that would dominate mainstream media headlines for over a year. To date, no evidence has been made public to validate this claim, at least nothing that stands up to any reasonable scrutiny. But let's move to May 25th, 2016, a day that sent shockwaves through the Clinton campaign. The DNC discovered that all emails between January 15, 2015 and May 25, 2016 had been copied and removed from their servers. These damning emails were published by WikiLeaks on July 22, 2016, and they proved how the Clinton gang cheated Sanders. A tweet by Donald Trump Jr. disclosing his communication with WikiLeaks contained a link that seemed to suggest that Seth Rich, a Bernie bro, downloaded these onto a USB thumb drive and kept them as some form of insurance in an action similar to that of Edward Snowden, who did the same thing in 2013. After the damaging emails were released on WikiLeaks, the DNC made public a claim that they had been hacked rather than leaked. FBI Director James Comey only offered to help and simply stood back when the DNC mysteriously refused. A new narrative had begun. Russian intelligence, under Putin, hacked the DNC. Soon after, Clinton-allied mainstream media networks began pushing Trump's connections with Russia, and the Trump and Russia collusion story was born. It should be clear to anyone who is intellectually honest with themselves that the more likely scenario is that this story was invented to discredit the Trump campaign and distract the public from the damaging contents of the leaked DNC emails. The fix was in, But still, it did not work. Trump's campaign rallies were full and passionate, and it appeared that this unlikely candidate was winning. Clinton, the DNC, Obama, and their proxies started to panic as they realized for the first time they had made a mistake in propping up their Pied Piper candidate. They went into overdrive. The Russia smear went viral. Unlawful and unethical actions began to take place. Clinton rigged the debates. Comey rigged the FBI investigation by exonerating Clinton with the non-legal term extremely careless, even though the original wording of his closing statement was grossly negligent, a criminal offense. While under this investigation, Hillary Clinton's husband Bill held a controversial meeting with the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Loretta Lynch, on an airport tarmac in Phoenix that the FBI tried to conceal. Attacks started on Trump and his family, nasty and personal, mostly all lies. Nothing worked. Trump was a phenomenon. They had never seen anyone like him. As the panic grew more severe, the DNC colluded with and paid a foreign intelligence contractor with ties to Russia to formulate a damaging dossier about Trump's sexual antics that was soon discredited. The Obama Justice Department used this questionable intelligence to authorize a FISA warrant to place Trump and members of his campaign under surveillance. Illegal spying starts on Trump, his campaign team, and his family. The illegality of these actions would have had no consequence, since Clinton and Obama had little doubt of a victory. November 8, 2016, Donald J. Trump was elected 45th President of the United States. Now, in full panic and realizing they had been compromised, the objective then was to prevent the inauguration. But President Donald Trump was inaugurated on January 20, 2017. Yet the Russia collusion story continued throughout 2017 in the hope that some truly damaging information would yet surface. They tried to destroy Trump and his family without success. The Russian collusion narrative is now understood on both sides as a lie, with mainstream media networks who run the story admitting off-camera that there was no substance to the claims at all, even as it continues to dominate their coverage. These people deliberately undermined international relations and committed crimes. They ripped up the rule of law. These are clearly crimes that will most certainly be revealed over the coming months, with the biggest shock in American history coming as famous and important political figures of the past 3 decades are indicted for a multitude of felonies. The human destruction and damage Clinton and her enablers have caused with her ambition and dishonesty has destroyed lives and careers. Innocent people have been smeared. Americans have been divided. Clinton, Obama, and co. almost destroyed America. They were organized criminals like the Chicago Mafia of Al Capone, but who made it right into the heart of power, allowing the country to fall into a state of lawlessness and division. Hillary Clinton knows full well what's coming down the line. Her guilt is spilling over the political divide, and even ardent supporters are starting to grow accustomed to the idea that maybe she was not the liberal feminist icon she presented herself to be. Left-leaning media outlets are beginning to introduce into the public eye the reality that Hillary and her enablers are going to be in trouble eventually. The coming months will be very difficult for Clinton's hardest supporters. They have been lied to the most. They have, in many cases, been sent totally insane. They are good people who care about others. They were manipulated and lied to and made to grow suspicious of their fellow Americans, directing their blame and confusion at Trump supporters, confused that the America they once knew was now filled with racists and homophobic bigots. It's time for justice so that the good people of America can once again come together and celebrate their differences as one people, united under a banner of freedom that was fought so hard for so many times in the past. Americans deserve no less for what these criminals have done. May God bless America.